Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette. I'm Nick Eatman. It's Thursday, December 18th. Maybe you hear Chris and Fasika and Josh in the back. I don't know. But you'll definitely hear me here for the next 45 minutes to an hour. We'll see how you guys behave on this show today. Should be some fun. I know you guys are frustrated because of the way this season has gone. I think we all are a little bit frustrated, but it's Christmas, right? Man, my throat sounds worse than I thought it did here on headset. It's all right. Let's power through here. 888-855-2297. Davion's on the line. Davion, what's up?
What it do, my boy? What it do? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. But, man, this summer we came out, we kicked it, we had some fun up in Oxnard.
Mm-hmm.
I had my hopes really high.
Yeah.
And then Flu said, hold my beer.
Wow.
And ruined everything for me.
Well,
I swear to God.
Well, hold on now. I mean, there was also a trade in there too. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I think Flu's got the beer spilt for a little bit there too. Like, they poured some of it out, like a really big piece of the beer. So, yeah, let's not forget that part. Not saying we pour one out for the homies, but yeah, it was definitely
It's rough. It's rough, man. I'm so distraught over how the defense. I thought we had a solid defense, and we were just able to not get. Because we talked about it last week. Do not let J.J. McCarthy look good. Just don't do it, and they just. Oh man. So. Last 3 weeks, I'm just hoping, really, I'm just praying for my Christmas gift is just nobody get hurt, no serious injuries. Just let's get to the next year, and with everybody pretty much healthy. Because this past week with Parsons and Patty going down, it's I don't want to see anybody on one of our good players go down like that. So hopefully everybody will be good. I want to say this week is if I don't get in tomorrow, I'm going to try again tomorrow. But if I don't get in tomorrow, this week I think the Chargers game should be – I don't think it's a win. What the heck? Let's just go win it out and see what happens. So pick us a win. I ain't really got a score because with Flus, I just don't know. He might make Justin Herbert look like prime Patty out there, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, he is pretty good on his own, so – yeah.
All
right. You going for a win. 34-32.
Going for a win, man. All right. But let's get it. Okay.
All right, Davion. That's like the epitome, I think, of all the fans right now. Just kind of defeated. Still trying to be optimistic, but just still defeated at the same time. That's what being a Cowboy fan has been for a while now. All right, Paul in Vancouver. Paul, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Hadn't seen you since Vegas.
Yeah, barely made it out of there.
Too bad Darren Woodson's not here. We could show him the video of the jersey, your Woodson jersey that I devalued.
No, you actually have it prominently displayed. So
nice.
Anytime I don't mean to make bad radio, but you put an inscription on it, and anytime somebody sees it in the office, they're like, "Why would he write that?" And then I tell them the actual story. But 80% of the people who see it, they find it funny, and the other 20% roll their eyes. But I'll take that.
Cool. I'll take 80-20. Yeah.
Well, firstly, I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas and everybody too. And you definitely made my Christmas, and I'm really enjoying the second book. So I'm going to have to go for the hat trick next year.
All right,
with the Baylor one.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So what you got, man? What are you feeling about this team?
I'm mostly upbeat. I'm really happy with how Schottenheimer did his first year, given everything. The issue, obviously, 400. There's a lot of 400 points with 3 games left, which isn't good. So I'm not trying to get into off-season talk, but you guys have talked a little bit on the show about trading one of the draft picks. I'm just like, when I think about it, I love the documentaries you guys do, especially that '05 draft class. I'm like, if you have 2 first-round picks, you add 2 starters to this team, and you have a plan on defense for next year, I'm feeling good about it. And even with 2008, when we had Felix and Mike Jenkins, I'd argue that was a success because you had two starters. One of them made the Pro Bowl for 5 years. Add that to this team. I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. You know what? Thanks, Paul, and thanks for the call. Merry Christmas to you as well, up north of the border, Vancouver. But I'm kind of with you on that. Like without a second and a third round pick, you're sitting here thinking, well, surely they're going to do something and have a pick on Friday. We're not just going to take Friday off in the draft. But 2 first-round picks, I'm with you. Like, draft them. Use them. You know what I mean? Because when you think about second round and what they've done in the second round, it's kind of always been a crapshoot, trying to steal value a little bit. I mean, just look at the last few second-round picks. Why am I doing this? Oh, I wish I wasn't, but all right. Donovan Ezeraku could be a good player. Marshawn Nealon, rest in peace. I think was going to be a good player for sure. Luke Schoonmaker hasn't lived up to expectations. Sam Williams, he's playing okay this year, but still hasn't hit those high marks yet. Kelvin Joseph, nope. Trayvon Diggs, well, yeah, he did. That was a good pick, but now, obviously he's not. He had a second contract, so that was definitely a good pick. Connor McGovern, Connor Williams, Cheeto Awuzie, Jalen Smith, Randy Gregory. And now I'm back to DeMarcus Lawrence, 2014. So, Gavin Escobar before that, also rest in peace. So, that's second round. Now, the third round is probably about the same, maybe worse. So, my point to that is, and you can make the case for first round, but the first round you have better chances to have a better player. So, I'm not sure if I really want to just move back like that. Now maybe you move that first pick back a little bit and then add something. You're still getting 2 number ones, but let's just say you're sitting at 12 and 22. I don't know. I just made that up. 12 and 22. Maybe you move back to 19 and 22 or, something like that. And then whatever you did to move back, you get a few more as well. Maybe a second or third round from there. Still picking 2 in the first round, but also getting more. So either way, I mean, they'll definitely figure it out. But I'm with you about maybe, quit trying to take all these chances with second and third round and stuff like that. This is already a pretty young team. Why don't you get some value? I mean, because you lost some in Micah Parsons, and at least get that back with a first round pick. All right, Zach in Atlanta.
Hey, what's up, Nick in Frisco?
How you doing?
Okay, man. I'm a long-time caller, but a first-time listener. Had no idea you had this whole show with Beam. I thought we were just kind of catching up from time to time throughout the week, but apparently there's a whole Storyline Nation. Is that right?
That is right. Where are we going with this?
Here's where we're going. Was Tony Romo colorblind? Because why did we wear white uniforms? And it still seems like we wear white uniforms all the time. I thought he was colorblind when I was a kid. I was like, can he not see the blue uniform in the end zone? Like, what's going on? All that to say, Nick, this is kind of what I'd rather talk about. This team is frustrating. I feel deflated like all the other storyliners. The bit aside, it's still keep Jeep. I do want to make it work. But it's kind of frustrating. Dak has been healthy this whole season. And you just needed the defense to be somewhere around the middle of the pack to carry them for 3 or 4 wins,
Yeah.
So it's frustrating. We all feel it. But we've got a few more games. I'm going to enjoy it. Technically not eliminated. Anything can happen. This is the NFC East, right? There hasn't been a repeat winner in 20-something years. So maybe that trend
I think that's going to change.
Yeah. But kind of on, draft picks and all that, do you have any idea of what our comp picks are going to look like? I'm trying to think of who we lost last year, where they're at now. I know you're not jazzed about talking about the draft, but I'll leave with that, man. Let's get a win. Cowboys win 31-27.
All right, sounds good. I think it's out there, like as projected picks. I don't know if they're always right, but I think if you search that right now, Cowboys comp picks for 2026, I think they have projections based off the players that they lost. The max you can get is 4, and I would imagine the Cowboys are going to be close to that. When you think about DeMarcus Lawrence, because what they brought in, it's also the formula is it's always confusing, but it's about who you lost, and then how much money that they signed for, and then what they what they did as well, and then also what you brought in to offset that. And you got to remember, like Pickens and some of these veterans are not free agents; they were trades, so I don't think they equate in there. I would imagine Jordan Lewis, Rico Dowdle, DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm missing somebody. You probably have a good shot for 4, all 4 of the comp picks. And I don't know exactly which round, but depending on what Rico Dowdle does, you have a shot there. And Chris in the back said, I just threw out 12 and 22. Right now, it's 14 and 23. That would be the draft order as of right now. 14, and obviously Green Bay's at 23. But that we'll see what you got to see what they do in the playoffs and all that. All right, Albert in Philly. What's up, Albert?
Hey, Nick. How you doing, man? Haven't talked to you in a long, long time. How you been?
First time caller on the storyline.
I know.
Here we go, man. How you been?
Been all right. Hope you and your family are well.
Cowboy fan in Philly. That's not easy, especially this year.
Since 1976, it's never easy, but it's life. It's life's blood. What can I say, And what I'm about to say will probably be proof of that. In regards to, I could sit here and talk about the past and what's going on right now, but kind of want to look a little bit towards the future. And I'm thinking that for the first time in forever, which shouldn't be if Jerry really knew our history, maybe a dream of mine could have a shot by Schotty. Because my lifelong dream for a long time now has been bringing home number 32. Dennis Thurman is our defense coordinator. That would greatly help Trayvon Diggs because Thurman comes from the Landry era. Rex Ryan's second-hand man, whether it be in the Jets land or Ravens land. So he brings those concepts. Plays press man coverage. I think letting Diggs go out of this building would be huge because, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you have our greatest 2 corners that ever played for our franchise, whether it be Mel Renfro or Everson Walls. If your free safety is garbage, which it has been for the past 2 decades since George Teague, where are you going? It doesn't matter. If we need to get that, I believe it's Caleb Downs. He's a free safety, right? The best free safety coming out of the draft in a little while, I think. And look at the name. I'm wearing Michael Downs' jersey right now. Look at that name. Kind of irony.
All right. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. All right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of moving parts there, and nothing has moved yet. That's kind of the thing we got to be careful, about. I really don't even know where Dennis Thurman is as it stands right now, and who I don't really keep up with other coordinators and stuff like that unless Cowboys have played him or where college. I know he's been in college or whatever. I don't really know. It doesn't matter. We can't really talk about that anyways. And Cowboys have a coordinator, and Trayvon Diggs is on the team. So all these things are here. And that's what makes this show tricky. And that's why I'm sure that it's, we're not going to have as many callers here in the next few weeks or so, because what people want to talk about is we're really not there yet. So I understand. I get all that. We'll fight through it here. But, I like what you're thinking. And I do think this. They've got to figure out in these next 3 games or so who's here, who's going to be here and what they have, and then from there, and when I say what they have, what these players are, like kind of get a better feel for them. And so then when you get to the offseason and coaching staff and if you're making changes and all that, understand your personnel probably better than you did. Understand the personnel and figure out what they can do, what they can't do, and the scheme's gotta be tweaked for that. I think the scheme is what it is from the coordinator, but you can obviously tweak it. So that's something that has to happen. But they got to make sure these guys are here in the offseason. That's a big part of it. But I think the Cowboys knew what Trayvon Diggs was. He wasn't here this offseason. He was banged up, but they knew what he was. And again, I'm not trying to get into the Trayvon thing because it's just a mystery. And I'd be shocked if he was here next year, just because I'll be shocked if he plays this week. You know what I mean? Like, he's not playing, and he thinks he's healthy, and he says he's healthy, and he's not playing. So can't imagine next year it would be anything different than that. All right, let's go. Rob in Vegas. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Nick.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Weather's great. Vegas is like 65, nice.
What does Christmas morning look like for you?
Now?
Yeah.
I mean, my kids are obviously 30, so it's...
They come over and do
No, we do it on Christmas Eve because we have a big thing. All my kids come over and brother-in-law, and we do everything Christmas Eve.
Do you wear the Santa hat? I feel like you do. I feel like... No?
Honestly, my wife would usually buy everybody Golden Knights pajamas or something like that every year, and everybody would put those on. We'd take a picture, and we'd hang out. But no, I don't think I wear Santa.
I could see you doing that. You're like, I could see you being like borderline Scrooge-like, but also like, all right, I'll play along. I'll wear the hat. Open your damn gift.
No, I'm the fun one. We do all the games. We do
good.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely the fun uncle, the fun, I don't have any grandkids, but that'll be fun.
You see what I'm doing here, Rob? I mean, I'm trying to talk about Christmas and all that because I feel like you're about to bring some heat, and I'm trying to offset it here.
It's not heat. We have these conversations, and I hear the fans talk about it, and I don't know if it's because the fans have just been beaten down over the years or When we talk about Schotty, and I hear people, he's changing the culture, and it's like we're treating him like he's the backup quarterback. Everybody loves the backup quarterback because they have hope. Oh, maybe he's going to be this. And then when he comes in and wins a couple of games, we always give him a pass because he's the backup. Well, what did you expect? He's the backup. And that's what we're doing with Schotty. He got 6 wins, and and I hear people talk about he's changing the culture. We're on the right path. We got 6 wins. It's a big downgrade from Mike McCarthy. You could say what you want about Mike McCarthy. The man went 12-5 3 years in a row. We're not even in the vicinity of that. And I don't know why we treat him like that. If he was hired, you would never hire a guy that you don't think could do the job. It's like we're talking about Schotty like we didn't expect him to be good. Well, if you didn't expect him to be good, he has no business being a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Because you hire a guy you expect to take you the next step. Well, the next step is second round of the playoffs, NFC Championship game. And I know the defense is garbage, but we talked about it. That was Jerry. Eberflus, here's my biggest thing with the coach. And it's not just him, it's been coaches. If you thought Eberflus was bad at what he was doing, he should have fired him. But he doesn't have the power to fire because that wasn't even his guy. Jerry hired him. And that's why I never wanted to coach a first-time coach. They just don't have the power because they don't have no skins on the wall. And Eberflus should have been let go. We saw the caller said it. If you would have had an average defense, middle of the pack, you probably have three more wins, at least. So I don't know. I just sit here and I'm saying, maybe I'm old school. I just hear the fans like giving him a participation trophy, and I'm like, no, I don't do that. It's been a failure. Now, that doesn't mean he won't be he can't get better, but I'm just talking about right now,
I get it.
right here.
I get it. Well, and totally justified on the things that you said, Rob. We're going to keep it rolling. Hey,
Sure.
If I don't talk to you again, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you call next week. We got 2 shows before Christmas next week. All right, Rob. The one thing I'll say to this, and we could go back and forth all day long and all that, and it would eat up most of the show. I mean, I'll just point out, because I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, I think when we look at what Schotty's year is, it's been, he's had a couple of things that have gone against him a little bit. When you think about, all right, maybe he didn't pick this defensive coordinator. I'm sure he signed off, but that doesn't mean, at that point it is what it is. And why wouldn't you get Eberflus? I mean, Eberflus was a good defensive coordinator. This year hasn't been good at all. But so he didn't pick that. He probably didn't. I mean, he didn't trade Micah Parsons. And either way, they switched out the best player on their team for 2 first-round picks that are obviously not here yet. And then they took one and got Quinnen Williams, and they got better. And so players matter. We know that. I think when you look at what they did in the middle of the season, going through the worst tragedy that you could think of from a team, and figure out a way to keep them together, keep them strong, go win 3 games in a row against some good teams. That's pretty impressive too. Now, you're going to compare him to McCarthy. Like Rob said, 3 12-win seasons in a row, and he's right. They did go 7-10 last year. They went 6-10 back when they played 16 games his first year. And if you want to throw COVID in there and defensive coordinator and all that stuff, fine, because it was a different year. Challenges, not the same challenges Schotty went through, but challenges. And he got better, and they figured it out. And they drafted Micah Parsons, and they got better, So I think, I don't know if people are giving him a pass, but you got to have a little bit of patience, just like the Cowboys had, and maybe the fans and Jerry Jones had with Mike McCarthy after that first year. Let's go to break. Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, get in the game this holiday season with Dallas Cowboys youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Athletes ages 6 to 16 can take the holiday hustle to football camps on December 23rd and the 27th. Visit DallasCowboys.com/camps to learn more. So support my guy Danny McCray out there doing good work, doing the most good. All right, back here on Cowboy Storyline presented by Gillette. I got 2 guys on the line that have been holding. One of them's the captain. I'm going to get to him, but let me just say this real quick because I thought Rob was making some good points. He was talking about McCarthy and 12-5 last year. I mean, for 3 years in a row and all that. And I pointed out that they went 6-10 his first year. Now remember, Dak did get hurt. That changes everything. That was the COVID year. So weird stuff happened there. But, I'll also say this, too, about culture. And culture is going to take a little bit to change. But if you would have seen, practice here the last couple of years got out of control. It really did. You see guys that your veteran players kind of jacking around off to the side playing catch, and because they were supposed to be hurt and injured, but not out there, but still distracting and all that. Of course, you say that now, and there's games this year where that don't look like they practice that well either. So every team's got its challenges. Everything it's different. I think Schotty in season 1. I'll say this. I think I'm interested to see how this thing continues to build and what happens next year. Dylan is up. He's in Northport, Florida. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Thanks for holding, man.
Yeah, no worries. It's fitting that I go after Rob. I was hoping I'd get him before him because I wanted to address something you said yesterday. But I'll start with what it's called today and then just quickly pivot to yesterday. Sometimes, and Rob, I love you, so I'm not going to after you, big dog, but, man, sometimes my guy says things, and I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And I don't say hell, Nick. It's another 4-letter word, but I can't say it on air. Mike McCarthy did so well all those years because his defensive line put more pressure on the quarterback than any other team in the NFL for 3 years in a row. He had Micah Parsons, okay? They forced a bunch of turnovers, and the offense fed into that, and it fed more stuff to the defense. And it was a cycle that was a great relationship. The Cowboys don't have that right now. Their defense is it's butt cheeks. There's no other word for it. It's terrible. Their defense is terrible. Some of it has to do with the defensive coordinator. Some of it has to do with the personnel. And Davion, I wish you had listened to me before the season, man. I tried to warn you. These linebackers, corners, it was all defensive interior. Now that kind of flip flop. The defensive interior is better. The edge is a question mark after the trade. But there were holes and question marks all over the defense, and nothing got enhanced by the DC. So it's kind of an unfortunate situation there. But the two things Rob said, yesterday, he said that team building and reloading, right? He said you don't rebuild when you have a big money quarterback. Well, the Chiefs are about to be in a 2-year rebuild, and that's with the best quarterback in the league who's making $80 million next year. His cap hit is $80 million next year. What? You have windows in the NFL. The NFL is built to be cyclical. You get 3-4 years, and then you gotta rebuild a year or two, and that's what it is. You don't have the Patriots. You don't have a 10-year dynasty with the Chiefs. That's not a normal thing. The league's not built for that. And so right now the Cowboys are in the year, and I don't think it'll extend the next year. I think this year they did a good job at adding some pieces, and hopefully next year they get a different DC like everybody wants and add some more defensive pieces. I think they'll start to open the window again next season, right? And I think the next 2-3 years will be really good for Dallas. But that goes into the Schottenheimer thing. He's building a culture. He's building towards something. You can't just get instant results every single season. Every time you make a big change, like a new coaching staff, a new coach, it doesn't work that way, my dude. And one more thing, and I'm not taking a lot of time, but one more thing. He also said that you build through free agency, not the draft. You got that backwards. You 100% build through the draft and not free agency. You enhance through free agency. Your draft picks are cheap, that you get them for 4 or 5 years, and that's your fuel for your team. Your rocket fuel, right, the thing that boosts you over the top is your free agents, your big high-end money guys, high-end contracts that you get as mercenaries. Those guys enhance your roster, but that's not your foundation. Your foundation is the draft. So That's all I got, bro. Yeah. Lot to say, so thank you.
Thanks, Dylan. Kind of heated, man, a little fired up. You know what? I agree with you there. Here's the problem. They really haven't drafted well. I mean, when you go back and look at the last 4 drafts or so, 5 drafts. 2020, I guess 2020 to now is 6 drafts. And I'm looking at the middle because your first round picks are supposed to, we already went through the second round picks and they're I don't think they met the standard, but 4th and 5th round, the 3rd, 4th and 5th round. You've got to hit on some of these guys. These guys have got to be good players for you. And when I look at this, look at the Neville Gallimore, Reggie Robinson, Tyler Biotish, Bradley and Nye. Biotish made the Pro Bowl, good player. They didn't re-sign him. Osa, Golston, Nashawn Wright, Jabril Cox, Josh Ball, Simi Fehoko, Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson, Matt Waletzko, Deron Bland, John Ridgeway. So you got a couple of Pro Bowlers there in 2022. This is all third, fourth, fifth round. Overshown, I think is going to be a good player. Junior Fehoko, sorry. Awesome Richard, not awesome. Eric Scott, and then you got Cooper Beebe starting. Maris Leafau hasn't turned that corner yet. Kalen Carson, Ryan Flanoy's a 6th round pick, maybe something there. So, I mean, those are the guys that you've got to. That's how you really build through the draft. I mean, the first, second pick's supposed to be good, but third, fourth, fifth, they're not all going to hit. But I think more than that need to be starters. That's how you, I think, get over the top is you have cheap help that guys that are good players. And then there's a couple in there. I mean, Bland and Ferguson and Biotish were good. We'll see about Overshown, but for the most part, I don't think it has been as good as it needed to be. Lester in Minnesota is next.
Morning, Nick.
What's up, bud?
Hey, man, I want to just piggyback on something you were talking about earlier when you were talking about when you change coaches. In this case, you were talking about the defensive. Well, I don't know if you're talking about defense coaches, but anyway, we'll just say coaches.
Uh-huh.
You have to evaluate the talent, for the next coach to make sure it fits. But also, I want to piggyback on that. When you're getting rid of players, Jordan Lewis, DeMarcus Lawrence, and players like that, you have to also, you look at the salary, of course, but you have to also look at the impact that those particular players have on the locker room, those particular players as leaders. Okay, you're getting rid of them, fine, the salary, et cetera, but who's going to replace those players? See, so you become what I call, and I don't mean this as I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but it's called leaderless armies. You have all these talent, but you done lost all your leadership, and you didn't replace them, or you didn't look at the replacement for them. Yes, the salary and all of that. Yeah, we need to replace, we need to replenish, but you have to look at who's going to replace that leadership. And that's part of the problem, I believe, from my opinion. I think that's what happened to Diggs. He is part of what happened to him. He's a leader on defense, the defensive backs. He probably, I don't know this for sure, but he probably had the cachet to go to the coaches and say, hey, we, in private, we don't do this or let's try this or that. And again, I don't know this for a fact.
Yeah.
I believe that's what he did, and someone got offended, maybe, and now, but he was used to doing that because I've been a part of a team where I was a leader, and then they changed the peak personnel, and I went to the new personnel, and then people got offended. But I was always doing that for years. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm not saying that's what happened to him, but I'm getting back to my point. When you replace these players or get rid of them or trade them or whatever, you have to look at if they're leaders, if they are leaders, who's going to replace that?
Yeah.
And that's all I got today.
Right.
Go Cowboys.
All right. Thanks, Lester. I don't really know how to respond to that. I mean, I know the guys that they lost. They lost DeMarcus Lawrence, Jordan Lewis. They were veteran players. Brandon Cooks, they lost him. It's a veteran player and a leader. Just because you're a veteran doesn't mean you're a leader. I don't see Trayvon Diggs as a leader. I don't see that. But then again, those are things you don't necessarily see. I mean, and leadership isn't just about the guy screaming in the middle of the huddle like Ray Lewis saying where my dog's at and all that kind of stuff. That's not necessarily just the leader. Now I'm saying Ray Lewis is, but I don't think you just because you are the guy that does that doesn't make you a leader. And just because you're a quiet guy and a little bit more reserved, Amari Cooper doesn't mean you don't lead in your own way as well. So those things are always hard to quantify, and they're easy to say about that this team has no heart, no leadership, no focus, no discipline. Those are things you just can't see, and they're easy to say, and you can't really be wrong because nobody can prove it either way. All right, Irene, Falls Church, Virginia. Irene, what's up?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You?
All right. A little sad about the state of our team, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yep.
So I want to talk about something that heard it on air, but also really a lot on Twitter. This idea about the offense letting the team down, right? And I had to look into it. They are the number 4 scoring defense in the league. And yeah, okay, if they got up to number 3, maybe we don't tie and maybe we beat the Panthers, so maybe we have 2 more wins. Great, but I don't know. When you're looking at a team, if you're thinking at the beginning of the year, we're going to have the top 5 scoring offense, you're thinking we're going to be in pretty good shape.
Right.
And then you look at the defense, and they are the number 31 team in points allowed. They have given up 420 points, right?
Yeah.
So, and then also I looked it up with the Vikings. We're the tied for 4th on the most amount of points scored against them. So, yes, we didn't get the job done, but it's a bigger issue to let McCarthy have time to carve us up than it is not to score. And maybe if we go for it more on 4th down, we would actually score less, or we would have won the game. I don't know. It's always a gamble, right? That's the thing.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just wanted to say, hey, top 5 offense, something we want. And then just a quick comment on Mr. Diggs. I don't know what that non-report was that James said that, hey, we got to be sensitive about this, and Trayvon wants to clear it up to some extent. Like, there's a really easy way to clear this up. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. But that's all I got. Thanks. Take care.
Yeah. I think everybody saw that coming. They saw that conversation happening in the locker room she was talking to him while he's sitting on top of a trash can. But yeah, and I had a feeling that there was going to be kind of this weird, cryptic like message that said stuff, but not really. Because those conversations they're always interesting because the players saying a lot of stuff, and if he really wanted it all out, he'd probably say it in front of the cameras. So when you don't do that, then it's up to the reporter to kind of figure out what they can say and kind of, you got to get something here for this exclusive conversation, but without burning the player and all that. So that's sort of what happened. I didn't see all the tweets and all that or messages or whatever she does, but we did see that conversation happening and knew that there'd be something out of it. And I'm sure he's got a lot on his side of the story that he wants to tell, and he probably will at some point here. All right, let's go to break again on Cowboys Storyline. Be right back.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, this segment is presented by Yeti, officially licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is available at stadium, pro shops, concession, and on Yeti.com. All right, got time for at least 2 more calls, maybe more. Let's go, Chris, Saratoga Springs, New York. What's up?
And what's up, Nick? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Just struggling with all the fans with our season, but I just want to say I'm a big supporter in Schotty. I think he's done a great job with what he's had to deal with this year. So I want to squash the people saying that we need a new coach. He's done a great job. Respect what he's done. The culture he's building there, I like. The Nealon scenario that came up, that the Parsons getting traded right before the season, a lot of stuff this guy's had to deal with, right. And I think he's done a great job. Can he improve? Yep. just like the rest of these players on the team that can improve as well. We all need to improve and get better. I don't agree with the offense letting us down. I mean, we're one of the best offense in the league. I do think we can get better on the tackles, the right tackle especially, and hopefully the left tackle comes back and shows some progress as well. But defensively, we need to do a better job. Against the Vikings, it wasn't just offense, it wasn't just defense. It was all three phases of the game. We need to get better. But offensively, I like what we have on offense. Again, I think we should, in the draft, focus probably on the tackle. And then defensively, I would like to move on from Matt, to be honest, and look elsewhere, defensive coordinator next year. And definitely, as far as draft, linebacker, and probably, corner, definitely, those are the two positions I would go after. But again, I don't think this is not a successful season. I think it's, we got to show improvement. I think we have, and I think the last couple of games are going to go a long ways in showing some more improvement.
Yeah.
And that's all I got for today.
All right. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Defense is going to be the top priority there, but, offense isn't perfect, and I don't know if it's going to be. It goes back to Irene's call, too. Like, offense struggle at times. This is – you do have a, first-year coach and figuring out the play calling and all that. I thought it was good from an offensive standpoint. And remember, too, like, they got a lot of yards and a lot of points because they had to keep scoring a lot, down a lot, or just because you've got 24 points on the board doesn't mean that the game's out of reach. So that's part of it. But then the flip side too, that if the defense was better, you'd probably get the ball a lot more turnovers. You'd probably score even more points. You'd have more, drives that start in positive territory or close to midfield. So. The defense obviously let this team down, and it starts at the top, and all the way at the top, and trading away the best player, and then just not having enough to replace it. I mean, they just don't have any pass rush, no outside rush. They get some interior rush now and again, but they just don't have consistent pass rush on the outside, and it affects the entire team. All right, let's go, Ronnie in New Jersey. Ronnie, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Nick?
Good. How are you, bud?
Not too bad. I was listening to you and everybody on the calls, but I kind of disagree when Rob mentioned about McCarthy. I'm glad McCarthy's not there. If McCarthy was such a great coach, how come nobody else picked him up? I'm sorry. McCarthy got lucky. He had a good team, whatever, this and that. He did a few good things. You can't just dump on McCarthy, but he wasn't going to take this team anywhere. I'm sorry. I don't care who says what. I didn't see McCarthy as the guy, the savior that was going to make this team that much better. It was going downhill with him.
To be fair, I don't think Rob does either. I think what he's saying is that this guy is replacing a coach that won 12 games 3 years in a row. So why is he getting a pass for having a 6-win season when the guy that most people wanted was better than that? That's, I think, what he's saying. I don't think he's saying should have kept McCarthy. He's just saying if that's the standard that wasn't good enough, then why aren't we holding this guy to the same thing? But so I understand both sides. I think that's what he was saying, the point he was making.
Barry Switzer won a Super Bowl,
yeah.
But that was Jimmy Johnson's team. He built it. He created it. He created the atmosphere, the players,
mm-hmm.
the work ethic. Like, he created that. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Johnson created that. Not
Barry Switzer.
Barry Switzer came in. He had it for 1 year, and then after that, it went downhill. So, I mean,
not
yin
exactly.
and yang. You know what I'm saying?
Not exactly, but yeah. He they were pretty good for 3 years in a row. They were pretty good, and so
I don't want to continue on the defensive coordinator, but his thing was that his defense is built on defensive tackles, the interior, and linebackers. What's his team doing with defensive tackles? They got some really good defensive tackles. In the rotation, starters from other teams that are legit players, and you haven't seen much, aside from the first 2-3 weeks that you saw out of both players when they were first traded for.
Yeah,
you've seen them going downhill. Linebackers, you chose those two linebackers that you have. So you're the linebacker whisperer, whatever. The linebackers are like the worst in the NFL. playing the worst in the NFL. So what does that tell you? I mean, it's not always going to be the players. Yeah, the players have some fault, but you're supposed to be this genius for defensive tackles. Your scheme is based around defensive tackles and linebackers. Remember when we first traded for Quentin Williams? I was like, Nick, well, now you get to evaluate Eberflus and see. Well, evaluation's over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know you don't want to change defensive coordinator again, but you might have to.
You might have to. I'm at the point where you might have to. I mean, like I get it. I don't know if we saw a lot of progress there, but you know, there's a lot of things involved and things happening behind closed doors. They got to figure that out. But you know, if it makes sense to make a change, then they need to do that. Let's go, JR in Avondale, Arizona, to wrap us up. JR, what's up? JR, are you there?
Yeah.
What's
hey,
up?
how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm good.
Hey, so I fly my Dallas Cowboy flag from the day of the first preseason game till the Cowboys are done playing. And the reason my flag won't be flying at the end of January versus the beginning of January is because of Matt Eberflus. And I don't give him – I'm generally greatly positive. I don't give him a pass at all. You lost Micah Parsons, I get it. But it's called manufacturing pressure. How do you not blitz to get pressure? You can't just say, well, I lost Micah. Oh, well, I'm not going to be able to rush the passer and get destroyed in the back end of the defense. How do you not blitz guys like J.J. McCarthy? How is that? That would have been my whole plan. 4th and 3 at the most pivotal point of the game, and you basically rush one guy and give up a 23-yard pass. You lost the game right there because if you get the stop and go down and score, you're up by 13 points. You're going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't just not rush the passer. And if you don't have Micah, you got to find a way to rush the passer. When Brian Schottenheimer took the job, and I think Brian's doing a great job, he said one thing I liked in his introductory conference, he said the mark of a good coach is a coach who adjusts his schemes and his philosophy to the skills of his players, not the other way around.
Right.
And Matt Eberflus has not done that because you still got guys running down the middle of the field uncovered, just like you did at the beginning of the season. How does Caleb Williams, the first time in his career, he didn't get sacked? How does J.J. McCarthy threw for 148 yards in the first half, the most yards he's ever thrown, 4.5? Bryce Young, you make.
Yeah. Whatever you're about to say, I agree with. So, yeah, your call cut off. Understand the call. You're right, and that's what they said. Remember what they said in the press conference that Micah was traded. Jerry said it. Steven said it. Maybe Schotty about you can generate pass rush. You can't really do that against stopping the run. Either you got the guys that can do it, or you can't, but you can always generate pass rush. That's what they said. And they didn't. They did not. They could not. They did not generate pass rush this year with the guys that they have. And even adding Quentin Williams helped some from the middle. And we saw some better games out of the guys on the outside. Dante Fowler maybe played better with him here. Osa played better, of course. And Jadeveon Clowney a little bit better too. So, that helped at times, but for the most part, no, they did not on a consistent basis, and not against quarterbacks that weren't good, against the blitz, and they just didn't attack them like I think they should, like JR thinks they should, and a lot of people did. So, they said they could generate pass rush, and they didn't, and that's I think the biggest downfall of the season and the defense there. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow to talk about the Chargers game. I don't even think we even mentioned the Chargers, but we're talking about next year, schemes, all that good stuff. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you then.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!